breaking news coming out of Austin, Texas. A jury just ordering conspiracy theorist Alex Jones to pay $45 million in punitive damages to the parents of a 6-year-old who was killed in the Sandy Hook school shooting. Yesterday, the jury awarding $4.1 million in compensatory damages. Now, the parents had been asking for $150 million in defamation damages for Jones calling the massacre itself a hoax. Our justice correspondent Jamal Andrews just walked out of the courtroom. He joins us live now from Austin. Jamal, break down exactly what the jury had to say.
Absolutely, Del. Well, look, this was a two-phase trial, as you mentioned, the compensatory as well as the punitive damages. And when the compensatory damages were announced, there were many who said $150 million and a $4 million judgment. Maybe that seems low, or that seems like the jury is not necessarily believing exactly what is being given to them by the plaintiff's side. But now, obviously, we have a much larger judgment coming on the punitive side of this trial. And it's important to sort of separate the differences here. Compensatory is specifically focused on compensating the victims in this case, the parents of Jesse Lewis. The punitive part, though, is about punishing Alex Jones and, as the plaintiff's attorney put it, deterring anyone else from following in his footsteps as they see it. And so, again, this was a defamation trial, and that defamation was specifically focused on conspiracy theories surrounding the Sandy Hook massacre. Now, there were a few things that came immediately after the jury gave back this verdict that I want to point out to you. First of all, there are more cases coming for Alex Jones, and obviously there's one in Connecticut that is postponed right now, but the judge set the next one that is here in Texas for September 14th. And so that is another defamation trial that deals with Sandy Hook victims. Also, the judge has ruled on these text messages, which has obviously become almost as important as this trial here in regards to public interest. And what the judge has decided regarding those text messages is that the plaintiff's side is free to offer that up to the January 6th committee, a committee that has expressed interest in not only Jones, but what exactly was on Alex Jones' phone and what involvement he might have had in the January 6th insurrection. The judge said, when asked about this, "I am not standing between you and Congress. That is not my job." And so obviously the plaintiff's attorney has said on multiple occasions he has full intentions to turn over this data to the January 6th committee after they have asked for it and after he has gotten permission from the judge. As for the defense just gave a press conference right outside the courtroom, a very short one, and essentially had this to say, that Alex Jones will be appealing this, that Alex Jones feels like he didn't have a fair fight here, and that he will continue to broadcast tomorrow, next week, and into the future. So we'll have to see exactly what happens here, because obviously this is a lot of money. Alex Jones said on the stand under oath that anything above $2 million would, quote, sink him and his business. So we'll have to see if those broadcasts continue, Del.
Yeah, by some estimates, though, he is worth about $270 million. Jamal, curious, was Jones inside the courtroom when this verdict was read with regards to the punitive damages?
Jones was not inside the courtroom, and that's an interesting part of this. He hasn't been inside the courtroom much throughout this trial. He's made several appearances, but he has not been a consistent presence inside this courtroom, as opposed to Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, who were there immediately after the verdict was read. And you could see the emotion in the room, obviously. Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis hugging their attorneys shortly after this verdict was read. There wasn't an outburst from them, but again, you could see it in their eyes that this means a lot. And even before today, the attorneys for the plaintiffs have said on multiple occasions that this is giving them a chance to move on, and they feel like they have righted a wrong here.
Those text messages also court exhibits. I'm sure media members will be asking for them as soon as the day is over. Our justice correspondent Jamal Andrews for us live from Austin, Texas. Jamal, thank you.